Okay, so hello. This is going to be another episode of Voltage Ranking Observation in this budget production quality, all made in Microsoft MS Office. I decided to work on the next edition since this month's Voltage ranking will include expert difficulty. Um, there are slight changes to the disclaimer and preface that I made from last edition, which is the pilot episode. Go check out the video on the top right card. And I also updated the guide on the stamina damage criteria, which I last time I showed you was only a table only base reference, but now I only give you this time on how the stamina damage per note will work. Basically, it's the stamina damage that you will take per note during the round. It does not count the stamina damage notes, whether it be amount based or percent based, so you'll need damage reducers or large healers if you need to deflect those challenges. So medium for Nico, high for Yo, and then extreme for 5 cards. 5 SRs like this one. So let's start off first with Natsuiro Egao, the 1-2 jump. Now the expert attribute is elegant. Same goes for the advanced difficulty, but I will only make a guide specifically for expert difficulty, as this expert difficulty will be able to get you as much voltage as possible. For this song, all of the trick notes favor Muse cards. So if you have elegant Muse cards, you can score very high on this song. And note that this is a K-Lab design beat map, so you can see how complex this appeal chances look like. Long story short, the tips here is that I could use SP cards and read strategy to SP burst early. I may have to show the B-roll in case if you want to see how I actually work. But on the first appeal chance, 243, you can get this at about 3 SP bursts if your average SP voltage is around 80 to 90k. You can do this within 2 bursts if you have around 1025 and above. And then you can do this for 1 burst if you can reach the threshold like this one. Getting critical hits is easy if you have cards with high critical rates, so let it be if you have your SRs or URs at about 40 to 40% critical rate and above. You can use critical rate buffers if you want to clear this appeal chance easily. But skill cards can get the advantage by having the 20% base critical rate. So it should not be an issue if you have these cards like this. Skill cards are recommended. Voltage gained by 246. Of course, there is a caveat. You have to use guard cards, but I would recommend using an SP verse first, and then you can use either guard cards or non-guard cards to continue scoring. But non-guard cards will get 50% base appeal anyway. I forgot to bold this one. So this one on SP verse, it's the same thing as AC1. You can just use your SP fills anyway. And gain voltage, same goes for AC3. However, AC5 recommends you to have skill cards though, so if it does not, in case if you want to score consistently, you can use SP burst or switch to skill strategy to maximize scoring. And then AC6 is activating 10 skills, which is guard cards get the advantage of 20%. I tried that on my practice run. It does not work necessarily for my single strategy brute force team. So if you're struggling to get at 10 skills, you can just switch to guard strategy. But it's just only if you want to if you want to pass all of the ACs and then get the 1.6 million voltage. And the last one is 1.6 million. Now I think early players may not be able to reach the last AC because of how high this voltage is. If you have SP cards, then I think this should be the good time to use your SP burst as early as possible. So a strategy of 3 SP will finish the AC fast. That's just my tip for this one. Recommended cards for this song. Since this is an expert song, I decided to manage the chart a little bit. Well, not necessarily like the most recommended cards that you have to use on your team. So 1 more regular URs, and then you have 3 regular SOGs that you can use. So I picked Colorful Festival Haneo because she's the only Muse Festival cards to fully utilize the song on Voltage Gain method. The recently released Cyber Rocking Gal Maki can also be used in Natsuiro. She also has Voltage Gain on Guarantee. She was the latest Voltage Queen to overtake Shioriko and Bo, and also Light of Blessings Aibo. Ruby can also be useful in this song, as she can have elegant and skill. Regular URs, Nozomi, Rin. Rin is actually the baseball festival one. While she is an SP type shielder, I mean, you can't go wrong with shielders, especially if you were. The song has about a very high criteria, so it's around 1,200 and above. And Pioneering New World says tonight, if you want to take advantage of her Steam strategy and base of your buffer, Lanju, you can use her during the you can use her. Let's during this one, AC3, but other appeal chances, not necessarily. So I did check a little bit on the top 5 voltage ranking. Apparently, you can also use elegant voltage cards more than the skill cards. Hopeful Knitting Honoka can be useful because she has voltage gain for Muse cards, basic build support over elegant cards. Miracle Fast Diner Rina can also be useful since she is a party card. She can also use voltage gain for her skill and show ability, but only 50% chance. Somewhat comparable to Light of Blessings Aiwu, but for elegant cards. Venus on the Moonlit Ellie can also be useful on appeal support, voltage gain buffer, and party kanan, not necessarily, but self-score voltage. She can clear AC fast, but low critical hitter on AC2. Paradise in the Sky Shioriko. Useful if you want to get her for a voltage gain buffer during appeal chances. And lastly, Fancy Pixie Kasumi. Now, I chose Rin over Kasumi because there's a Muse bias on jerk notes. So you can also use Kasumi, but Rin is more optimal for Natsuiro, Egao, the 1-2 jump. Same goes for the SB fill method. These cards, I think you get the point that this is a Muse bias chart. So if you have Haneo, Umi, or Ellie, then these two can work together to clear out the SBACs fast. And do check the notes on team building in case I forgot to interpret. On the regular UR side, there are not much SB fillers on this side of the chart. So if you do have Cheer Squad Honoka, you can use the party and festival Muse URs that you have, and then let Honoka take advantage of the field chances, and then they'll be able to spam SB bursts. On the Niji side, you can use Emma or Rina for voltage gain potential, but more on Emma for the appeal ACs, SP voltage ACs. Yoshiko is pretty outdated, but if you don't have any SP fillers, like elegant SP fillers to use for Natsuiro, Egao, the 1-2 jump, this is a possibility you might get her. SR cards, not much optimals to use. This is actually updated. I think I might as well have to update the recommended cards, but Party Nico, basically Party Hanamaru clone, but for elegant cards. If you're starting out of the game and you got this Nico, you can take advantage of her SP overcharge since the SP voltage cap has been unlocked to up to 250. In fact, Fancy Pixie Kasumi can also be used as well. I forgot to update this one, but you can also use Baseball Festival Rin for this song. So, yep, that's all that I can think so far. Next up is Mirai no Bokura wa Shitteru yo. So, expert attribute is Smile. Same goes for the advanced difficulty, but as usual, I'm focusing on the expert difficulty version of this song. So, this is a very early expert map. So, early game players, for veterans who started out the game, we managed to tackle what this is supposed to be a complicated expert chart. Turns out to be a bit easy. So, lose 50% appeal. This is annoying because you have to switch strategies to clear. This one for guard cards if you want to heal up a bit faster, since the stamina damage is medium, so it's around I think it's around 700 to 800, or I think it was 600 to 700 if I recall. Um, if you're starting early in the game, you might notice that there's going to be have a 10k stamina damage node and 2000k stamina damage node, making a stack of 14k, and then SP gauge fill for SP cards, gain 10 or 20 appeal for these specific songs. So Mirai Boku is so easy to read actually. Use any card to score high, use guard cards only when Trick Nose 3 and 4 reaches orange stamina damage. So say if you have like a stamina if you have a stamina stack of less than 60 to 70, which the recommended stamina stat on the song says you have to get like 12k power, 90k stamina. You might be able to use those guard cards anyway on the first AC. Then SP voltage is easy to do. Just prepare filled SP burst, and it's so low. I don't think it's necessary to use an SP overcharger, unless if you want to maximize your scoring potential. Gain voltage, which is almost 1 million. Voltage cards will get the advantage anyway, and gain 30k voltage is easy to pass once you have a deck once you have that particular card that can appeal more than 30 voltage at a time. The recommended cards are easy to read since Mirai Boku is an early song for the expert difficulty side. I list out as many recommended cards that I can think of as possible on the voltage gain side and as well as the SP fill side, but more or less on the voltage gain side, it's easy to tell because Shioriko, Honoka, and Kotori can also work in that song, even though there's no school bias, so it's okay for me to list out these cards on the festival and party wars. Chika, Ai, Riko, and Shizuku are all okay to use, and I would get this Ai card particularly for the appeal buff. Now the reason I also added Riko here is because she also does this on appeal chance on live show start. However, I do recommend trying to get the Ai show ability to work. Use this one, the voltage gain buffer version. She can also increase voltage gain during appeal chances, which is good for smile cards or same strategy. SR cards like Kimihiko Yoshiko, Mirai Harmia, and Rainbow Heart Kasumi, those can work well early in the game since they developed this beat map very early. Notes on the team building: you might want to set your strategy on either red or blue strategy to avoid hitting the appeal debuff note early, and you could use to switch your support or defense strategy. But I will have to use a scoring strategy with either voltage, SP, or skill. And then your support strategy has to have at least 2 skill type cards to take advantage of this strategy switch note bonus. Other recommended cards: Cheerful Girl Yo, Party, Jet Black Magician Setsuna, just for backline support, Briar Rose, and an Elegant Banquet Yo if you want healers. All-Star Princess Ayumu. Now, she will not score that high. She's just going to be here to stack as much stamina as possible. So early players can use her skill and smile base appeal buffer, meant to be placed on a support strategy. Winter Festival Kanan is a budget version of Briar Rose Shizuku, but all she can do is buff technique stat for all cards, small skill, Winter Festival Kanan. Oh, I think that's actually Baseball Festival Kanan, I'm sorry. Pure White Hanamaru or Tiger Karin, both can also buff appeal. And for small cards on strategy switch, Tropical Vacation Kanan, I wouldn't recommend her since she does have the 11% skill rate for voltage gain. But it's fine if you want to get her increasing skill rate or increased base appeal. Harvest Moon Rabbit Shizuku, I guess voltage gainer, you can use her, but if you have Nijigasaki cards like Shioriko, Kasumi, or Rina. Sweet Dream Halloween Nozomi if you want to get her smile base appeal buffer for support strategy. On the SP fill side, Library Guard Hanamaru, Maki, and Setsuna will also work in Mirai Boku. If you're going to use Hanamaru, I think it would be best if you just If it's you have, you can switch your strategies first, and then Hanamaru will take advantage of the SP fill for 20 strategy switches. It's guaranteed, and already as powerful as Festival 2 Setsuna. So, yeah, I recommend having a dual strategy first if you're gonna use Hanamaru. Regular URs like Nozomi Kotori and Sunny Sunny Flower Shuriko and Santa Girl Setsuna. Nozomi on the other hand, if you don't have Muse SP fillers like Royal Knight Full Kotori, Barimaki, don't use this Nozomi card unless if you have either of these cards in your collection. SR cards, Mari, Rin, and Kasmi, all three can work in Mirai Boku. Now, there are other recommended cards that I use, which is It's Showtime, Karata, because she can stack base appeal buffer on SP Burst. So if you have an SP focus team, this Karata card will be useful if you have one. Sweet Rose Yoshiko, she only works on SP fill booster, but for strategy cards. Buff Smile appeal stat, fills SP on live show start. If you have this Yoshiko card, okay-ish I guess, but I recommend to have her sit alongside two other SP fillers. Pioneer, the New World Kotori, and Miracle Voyage Yo. Both are useful SP fillers, but I wouldn't recommend them since, unless you have them upgraded with bond boards or bond levels, these SP fillers will work anyway. Now, the last song that I have to point out is this time on Evergreen. Now, it's also stamina damage medium since Evergreen Expert does not inflict greater than 1000. This Emma card, this song is actually Minot designed. So, the SP fill rate for 10, skill rate for voltage, lose a fill for all, gain skill. It's pretty complex, but I think this one for SP fill and 20% skill rate, these actually work on SP cards. Yeah. So, this one, it's pretty complicated, but I'll have to pull these out one by one. 1 million voltage, skill cards gain 50% skill rate. So if you have natural cards, you can score high. SP fillers can also work to speed up the process. Crit hits, use technique focus with high critical rate, and you'll be able to restore stamina. And it will multiply by how many skill cards you have in your team. Then this one is gain voltage, but Niji cards get to gain 20% skill rate. So if you have, let's say, a Nijigasaki natural voltage gainer, it will take advantage of this AC. Or if you have an SP fillers, that will work as well. However, the Trick Note 3 actually consistently lose a debuff's 10% appeal. So I would not recommend bringing an damage cleanser or stat cleanser because the appeal debuff notes are placed consistently good. So I wouldn't bother using Flower Symphony Kasumi in here as well as this one. So then gain voltage, same goes for this. Crit hits, same as AC2. This one same as where is it? This one is the same as AC5, but no debuff appeal notes. And lastly, the SP voltage is the same as this one, which is 242k. However, the difference is that it only comes in for a short amount of time, so prepare an SP burst to clear the AC fast, use SP voltage gain buffers needed due to the length of the AC. It's a complicated Nijigasaki solo song, unfortunately, so my practice run did not go well. I only reached 45 million. I may have to do this practice run of some time before the event begins. But do note that this is a complicated solo song. I decided to put Emma's song in the least easiest to play. So voltage gain method, I think there are natural voltage cards that you can use, but I put them on the other recommended cards because I cannot find the strongest or favorite cards for this. So voltage gain method. Typically Emma's Festival 2 card can also work on Evergreen. Um, Next one is Snow Princess Mari. If you have her back in November, she can be useful in Evergreen. Now, I indicate this with skill cards, but you can use voltage cards to. You can use them in AC 1, 2, 5, 6, and then for voltage cards, AC 3 and 5. On the regular UR side, Flower Princess Emma, which was debuted in a story event card last month. Vegetable Wonderland Rina, SI Collection I will think that these are outdated. I could replace SI Collection I with Hanyo and Lady in Spring Song Kotori, but considering it's Nijigasaki bias, I might as well have to put them for now. But you can mix and match anyway. Present for You and Flower Princess Ellie. Now, I'm gonna remind you, these two cards are the same. Are the same in this in a row rotation kind of thing. So that's why I merged in Present for You and Flower Princess Ellie because they both do the same thing. However, for Present for You, it's guaranteed. Flower Princess, however, only works at 50% chance. Now, SR cards can also work, such as Yoriko, Chika, and Hanamaru. So yeah, Hanamaru and Wonderland can also work as same strategy. I did check a little bit on the top rankers in the voltage ranking side, so they might be able to use Hanamaru in Wonderland for stackable appeal. Rin Studio and Grand Blue Fairy Canon, they also work the same. However, they're not they're not part of Niji, so they might not be able to take advantage of the strict notes or also the appeal chance effects. So as I said before, Hanaya and Kotori will also work in that song as well. However, they do have varying showability that they'll use for buffing appeal stat. Moonlit, Minuet Chica, Crit Rate Buffer, and I guess Animism Messenger Nozomi with Natural Voltage. Priestess of Sea God Kanan, outdated, but you might be able to get her base appeal buffer working. SP Full Method side, because it's Niji, I guess Nighttime Garden, Karin, Nostalgic Scene, Shizuko, or Kiririna. Non-Niji side, you can use the Festival 3 Shiriko. Basically a copy-paste Party Kotori, but lower buff, I think, but not necessarily lowest. If you have any of these cards, you can use it in Evergreen Expert. Regular UR side, unfortunately, it remains the same for me to use these cards in the recommendation chart, but you can use non-used cards like Sweet Chocolate Honoka. Same goes for Ellie if you want to get more heals again. Kasumi Kanata and Hanayo are also the SR chart, which I'm not sure if these will be necessary if you want to build your team based on them. Then notes on team building, I'm here Mia. You can use her if you're low on SP voltage on AC4 and AC8. AC4 is more forgivable since it has a longer appeal range than AC8. It would be better if your SP team has to increase their SP voltage instead of recommending this Mia card, but use it as last resort. Delightful Waltz Emma. Who couldn't I forget Delightful Waltz Emma? Now, Emma is the recommended SP filler, but it could be useful if you're going for dual strategy teams. Funky Nico, kind of like Party Festival 2 Rina, but her passive buffs natural cards, so slightly better, but a bit more restrictive than Fest 2 Rina or Festival 3 Hanyo. Sweet Little Angel Ruby was also used on the SP side, so she's like Party Kanata and Ubi, but passive focuses on natural cards. Disillusion card is SP overcharge, but if you cannot get through AC4 and AC8 as early as possible, you can use her to maximize your score, or you can keep your SP overfill. However, I would not recommend this since the SP burst can also use your SP fill, not like 2 charges anyway. Fluffy White Snow Week Rico and Noble Princess Rico, they are used in backlines because Nico and Rico can also restore stamina really fast. However, they have since been succeeded with Flower for Ryu Ellie, or Flower Princess Ellie, or Winter Festival Mia, since all three of them can also restore stamina on SP bursts, and with the inflated stat corner, they have since been succeeded by Ellie and Mia. So this is not as much as I can put on for this. All I can do is just put in the rolls. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for this voltage ranking observation video. Um, can't say for now if May and June will be slightly better in terms of production quality, but this is all that I can think of for now. The chart, the formation, the field chances, trick notes. Credits are in this one, so do check out the credits that I've listed below. And also, I also have to, I also have to recommend. This is an advanced topic game, so do check out the other YouTube channels that are covering Love Live All Stars. They have since moved on, but they remain they remain guide videos on their channels for now. So do check out the videos if you want to check how to maximize voltage ranking, and at least I could help a little bit on this one. So that's going to be it. Thank you everyone for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel, ring the bell. Streaming 3 to 4 times a week on YouTube, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. See you soon.